Hello, I'm Judith Davis. I'm offering a new way to help yourself with my free emotional comfort tool, which is the first step in developing your inner guide. Whether simply providing a feeling of peacefulness and calm or giving specific advice, an inner guide can help when you find yourself in a difficult situation. It will ease the discomfort you feel and will also help you to solve the problem. An inner guide can help with problems at work. For example, I have a friend who is finding himself in a toxic workplace. He's suddenly been accused of breaking rules and disrespecting boundaries. He knows that these accusations are false and that he needs to leave, but he doesn't have a new job lined up yet. He initially felt very upset that his integrity was being impugned, but then he heard an inner voice, his inner guide, say, "Let it go." He understood that he was being told to trust that he would be guided to a good solution. Shortly thereafter, his panic receded, and he regained a sense of calm, knowing that his inner guide would help him deal with this situation. I'm reminded of a woman I know who also had a difficult situation. She needed to move her business with a lot of equipment from one location to another repeatedly due to increases in rent and other difficulties. This was a situation that would ordinarily have been quite stressful, but she handled the moves efficiently and calmly. She told me that she couldn't have managed either the stress or the logistical difficulties if it hadn't been for her inner guide. An inner guide can help with problems with your relationships. A man I knew was divorced by his wife. He was eager to remarry so that his children would have a new parent, one who would be better suited to motherhood than his former wife. He met a woman who appeared appropriate on the surface, but his inner guide warned him against marrying her. He was so desperate to remarry that he did so anyway, following which she began behaving differently than she had before. She turned out to be selfish and financially irresponsible. His inner guide had been right. He was obliged to end that relationship, but fortunately, he soon met another woman whom his inner guide approved of. That marriage has turned out well. A woman I know found herself becoming uncomfortable with her best friend, but she didn't understand why or exactly when the change had occurred. It was troublesome enough that she abandoned the friendship. Years later, she acquired an inner guide, and it occurred to her to ask what had been going on with that former friend. Her inner guide explained to her that the change occurred when she'd gotten divorced, and that her friend, who had previously been envious of her success, now reveled in her change of marital status and became patronizing toward her. The shift was so subtle that she hadn't been able to identify it, but her inner guide, scanning her memory bank and using its subliminal perception, was able to solve the mystery. If she had had an inner guide's aid during this problem, she may have been helped to gently confront her friend and perhaps save the relationship. If you acquire your inner guide now with my course, Achieving Emotional Comfort, it will be ready to help you when you face a problem. Rather than struggling with difficult situations at work or in your relationships, you can address these problems calmly. My free emotional comfort tool will enable you to begin the process of developing your own inner guide. Just click on the link below.